Hey everybody, we're now into the last video in the 3-video series on acupressure points. And this one is, close to my heart because this is something I deal with, and that is joint pain and stiffness. So there's 3 key acupressure points that can really help a dog that is having generalized joint pain and stiffness. This is very easy to do at home, so I hope you like it. And if you haven't gone back and looked at the other 2 videos on acupressure, on anxiety and digestion that Jesse has done, you should go back. I'll link to those at the end of the video.
Our last topic that we're going to talk about in traditional Chinese medicine, and probably the closest near and dear to Adam's heart, is joint pain. So joint pain can be a difficult issue to talk about in TCM because bones, muscles, and tendons are all governed by completely different meridians. So bones are governed by the kidney. So if the kidney isn't functioning, especially in older dogs, you can have a lot of arthritic issues. But if you want nice, healthy bones, you got to keep that kidney meridian strong. Spleen governs muscle, in addition to digestion, which we talked about in the last video. But in terms of atrophy and suppleness and symmetry of muscles, you want to make sure that spleen is really strong. And tendons and ligaments are governed by the liver and the gallbladder. So you need to have all 3 working strong in order for our joints to be nice and healthy. Our first point is gallbladder 34, which is the influential point for tendons and ligaments. So this point is especially helpful if your dog has had liver issues, is on extended medication, because sometimes that will affect the liver meridian, but just making sure that our tendons and ligaments are strong, our liver and our gallbladder are supported, and this point is easy-ish to find. So if the dog were wearing pants, the gallbladder meridian runs down the seam of the pants. Our first point for joint pain is going to be gallbladder 34. So we're going to go back from the knee about half the distance. If you want to make sure you're in the right spot, you can go right down the middle of the back leg, just behind the head of the tibia. In a lot of dogs, this point can be sensitive, especially if they have issues with their stifle. So you want to make sure to be really gentle when you're palpating this point. The next point is actually not that far from that point. So our second point is bladder 40. This is the master point for the back and hips. So if you have an older dog or any dog with lumbar or disc disease, this point is going to be really helpful. Also one of my favorite arthritis points. So if we're already on gallbladder 34, halfway behind the knee, you're going to go just to the back, nice and behind the dog's knee, and that's going to be bladder 40. Our second point for joint pain is directly behind the one we just did. So this is gallbladder 34. We're going to come around to the back of the popliteal fossa to bladder 40. So not only does this point help with back and hip strength in terms of vertebral strength, but also it helps with stifle support. So if you have a dog that has luxating patella, for example, this point is going to be especially helpful. And our last set of points is my favorite pair for arthritis and senior dogs. So this pair of points is also located on the hind leg, but kidney 3 and bladder 60 are 2 of my favorite points for arthritis and joint pain. One, because kidney 3 is the source point for the kidney meridian, which means it's going to help rebalance kidney no matter what's going on. But also bladder 60 because it's what we call the aspirin point. So if your dog is experiencing any discomfort, it will actually release endorphins in the dog's body to help mitigate some of that pain. So these points especially helpful. They're a pair. In order to find them, similarly to how we found heart 7 and pericardium 7 on the front leg by sliding down the skin on the back of their foreleg, you're going to do the same thing on the back of the hind leg into that thin skin just above their ankle. All right, our last pair for joint pain is going to be kidney 3 and bladder 60. So the same way we found pericardium 7 and heart 7 by sliding down the back of his front leg, we're going to slide down very gently the back of his hind leg in this thin skin here. The point on the outside is bladder 60, and the point on the inside is kidney 3. So you're going to gently pinch your fingers and slide them down the back until your fingers naturally stop just above their malleolus. The finger on the outside of the leg is bladder 60, which is our aspirin point, and the finger on the inside is kidney 3. If the point on the outside feels a little bit warm, it's possible your dog could be experiencing experiencing some discomfort. So this is a good point just to know, especially if you have an older dog or a dog with injuries, because you can naturally do it while you're watching TV or just hanging out. You can just gently hold the point for them to help them maintain that pain level.
Thank you for watching that video. We hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, you might enjoy this one that's over here. Or if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. It helps us out a lot and it keeps you up to date with our latest content, and you can do that right over there.